Okay guys, today we are going to take it up a notch. We're getting you more on that 8th grade, 9th grade level. We're going to have variables on both sides of an equation, okay? So our steps start the same. We are going to draw a river, so I want you to draw a river on your page. And then our goal is to make this look like the equations you are used to. So the equations you are used to have variables all on one side, okay? So I always suggest you start with the right-hand side, and we want to get rid of this variable. When we want to get rid of something, that means we want to make a zero. So we have to use addition or subtraction. So I am not asking what is the operation between 3 and x. I'm saying this whole term, what's the operation? Well, the whole term is negative or it's subtracting. So the opposite of that would be adding. So I'm going to add 3x. I'm going to add it to both sides because I have to do it to both sides. And I'm going to put my other 3x under the 2x. Okay? So negative 3 plus 3 gives me 0 or 0x. So this is gone. And now over here I have a negative 7. Put my equal sign. I need to combine like terms over here. 2x plus 3x is 5x. And then I have a positive 4 that I need to bring down. Okay, now it's just like before. Go find your variable, it's over here, and we start by removing addition and subtraction to make a 0. So I see this add 4. I need to get rid of it, so the opposite of adding is subtracting. So I'm going to subtract 4. Okay, 4 minus 4 gives me 0. That's gone, and then I have 5x equals negative 7 minus 4. There are two signs here. Remember, we messed up on this yesterday. That's negative 7 minus 4. I'm going to type that in my calculator. Okay, that gives me negative 11. All right, next I go back to where my variable is. It's over here. Okay, what operation is happening between 5 and x? It's multiplication. So if I want to undo multiplication and division, my goal is to make a 1. So I am going to divide by 5 because I know that 5 divided by 5 gives me 1x and negative 11 divided by 5. I'm going to do that in my calculator. Okay, the answer is a decimal. It's negative 2.2. Okay, we are done. All right, let's do it again. We're over here. First thing, always draw a river. Second thing, we find our variables. They're on both sides. I suggest you always go to the right and start with this variable. Okay, so this variable is positive. I'm going to put a box around it. I want to get rid of it. That means I want to make a 0. How do I get rid of a positive 6m? Well, I have to do a negative or subtract 6m, but I have to do it to both sides. Okay, now these are gone. They make a 0, and I just have negative 7. Over here, I see these two negatives stacked. I'm combining like terms. I'm going to check myself. Negative 4 minus 6 is negative 10. Negative 10, and I have to write the m plus 2. Okay? So now, my variable's over here. I stay over here. I start with addition and subtraction to make a 0. Don't touch the variable. I see a positive 2. The opposite of that add 2 is a negative 2. I need to make a 0. Positive 2 minus 2, I'm going to make sure I'm doing it right. 2 minus 2 is 0. This is gone. I bring down negative 10m equals negative 7 minus 2. Okay, that's negative 9. Okay, stay over here. It's where your variable is. Okay, the operation between negative 10 and m is multiplication. I undo that with division, and my goal is to make a 1. A lot of you would tell me to divide by 10, but let's check ourselves. Negative 10 divided by 10 gives me negative 1. I need to divide by what I see. Negative 10 divided by negative 10 gives me the positive 1. I have to do it to both sides. 1m equals negative 9 divided by negative 10. Okay, I can either write 0.9, or I could turn it back into a fraction by pressing math, enter, enter, or 9/10. It's the same thing. Okay, so I have created a little chart for you to follow. So the first thing is we're going to do the river. So put a check, do the river. Second thing is find the variable. Well, it happens to be on the left and the right. So put check marks. So now it says, so find the variable on the right. So that's over here. Okay, it's right here. Use addition and subtraction to make a 0 out of the variable. Well, this is a positive 7r. So what am I going to do? I'm going to subtract 7r. I have to do it to both sides. Okay, 7r minus 7r. 7 minus 7 is 0, so that's 0r, so it's completely gone. Bring down my 13 equals, I have to do this. 6 minus 7 is negative 1. So I have negative 1r plus 7 equals 13. Okay, go over here. It says go to the left, so that's on this side. There I am. Use addition and subtraction to make a 0. Up. So I want to move this positive 7 away. The opposite of that is negative 7 or minus 7. So I do it on both sides. Positive 7 minus 7 does give me 0. It's gone. So I have negative 1r equals, well, 13 minus 7. That gives me 6. Okay, this has to be a positive 1. I'm not done. This is multiplication. I undo it with division. I already did this. So I'm going to divide by negative 1 because I can check. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 gives me positive 1. So I get 1r equals 6 divided by negative 1 is negative 6. I have made my 1 and my answer is negative 6. Okay, I'm going to do another one. First thing I do, draw the river. Second thing, where's the variable? Well, it's on the left and the right. Then I find the variable on the right, which is over here. I put a box, it's over here. Oop, it's a negative x. It says, I'm going to put a box around it so you see it. I am going to use addition and subtraction to make a 0 out of the variable. Well, it's minus x, so the opposite of that is positive x. Remember, there's technically 1s here if you need to put them there. So I'm going to put positive 1x. Notice I'm stacking my x's. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0, so we have 0 x's. They're gone. We bring down our 1. I have 13, and then I need to do negative 4 plus 1. That gives me negative 3. Negative 3x. Okay, so I've made a 0 out of my variable, and now I'm going to go to the left. Over here. That's where my variable is. Use addition and subtraction to make a 0. So I don't touch my variable. I need to get rid of this 13. It's currently a positive 13, so how am I going to get rid of it? Nice. Negative 13 or subtract 13. 13 minus 13, let's make sure I did it right, is 0. Bring down negative 3x equals 1 minus 13. 1 minus 13, negative 12. Okay, so I've made my 0. Multiplication and division to make 1. So we have multiplication, we have to undo it with division. What am I going to divide by? I should be dividing by negative 3. Let me prove. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 gives me positive 1. So I get my 1x, I got my x alone. And then negative 12 divided by negative 3 is positive 4. So my solution is 4. Your goal now is to flip to your side and start on these. Follow this. You're going to make mistakes. That is okay. We're just going to get used to the variables on both sides. Go ahead and get started.